Happy moments aren't the same as a good life. Most dog owners don't know the difference, and that's not their fault. Nobody teaches you what a genuinely thriving dog looks like. Not happy in the moment. Thriving? The signs are there every single day. One happens while your dog is asleep. One is a sound you've been hearing and completely misreading. And one of the strongest signals looks, at first glance, exactly like your dog rejecting you. 7 behaviors, all backed by peer-reviewed science. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what to look for and what to do with what you find. You already know the obvious stuff. The tail going insane at dinner time. The zoomies. The full body wiggle when you walk through the door. Those are real. I'm not dismissing them. But they're mood. They're a snapshot. What researchers actually measure is something deeper. The baseline. What does your dog's nervous system look like when nothing exciting is happening? Here's where most people's mental model breaks down. We think a dog who isn't showing obvious distress is probably fine. Welfare science draws a much harder line between not suffering and actually flourishing. Those two things are not the same. The gap between them is where most dogs quietly spend their whole lives. That's the gap this changes. So let's look at what flourishing actually looks like. Not in theory, in behavior. Your dog is asleep. Paws twitching, eyelids flickering. A tiny muffled sound slips out. You smile and move on. Stay with me, because that moment is more revealing than almost anything else that happened today. That's deep REM sleep, and a stressed dog cannot get there easily, not even close. A 2025 study of 105 dogs found a 0.92 correlation between sleep quality and the frequency of fears, anxieties, and frustrations across the day. That's not a weak association. That's nearly inseparable. Now compare that to shelter dogs, who sleep only 2.8% of daytime hours, fragmented, shallow, barely touching REM. For your dog to reach deep REM, their brain has made a decision. This place is safe enough to go completely offline. That's not cute. That's trust. A dog who can fully switch off has a life worth switching off into. But deep sleep happens while your dog's eyes are closed. The next signal happens while they're fully awake, and most owners hear it every day without knowing what it means. During a really good play session, not training, not a structured walk, actual unscripted play, listen past the barking. Some dogs make a loose, rhythmic, breathy exhale, softer than normal panting, freer, like the mouth has let go of something. This is the sound I mentioned, the one most owners completely misread. Researchers first described it in 2001 and confirmed it through acoustic analysis in 2023. They call it the play pant. It shows up almost exclusively during genuinely positive emotional states. Stress panting is tight and fast. This is the opposite. If you've been hearing it and thinking your dog is just tired or overheated, you've been misreading one of the clearest joy signals your dog has. That sound isn't exertion. That's your dog experiencing something that functions like real joy, not performance, not habit, the real thing. Now you know what to listen for. Here's what to watch for, and this one requires you to zoom out and look at your dog's entire day. Because the next signal isn't a single moment, it's a pattern, and you can miss it for years without realizing it's gone. Think about your dog's entire day yesterday. How many genuinely different things did they actually do? Not walks, not meals. I mean, sniff something with total absorbed focus, play just for the sake of playing, lie in a patch of sunlight because it felt good. Count those distinct, self-directed behaviors. If the number is under 3, that's worth paying attention to. Welfare scientists call this behavioral diversity, and it's a sharper diagnostic tool than most people realize. A dog in chronic stress becomes behaviorally narrow. They manage. They cope. They repeat the same small loop. We call that low maintenance. Welfare science calls it a red flag. A thriving dog has enough psychological space to be a whole dog, curious, exploratory, capable of genuine rest and genuine play within the same day. You can see it if you're tracking it, and now you have a number to track. Behavioral diversity tells you what your dog is doing. The next signal tells you what your dog is expecting, and that's a completely different window into their inner life. A knock at the door. A strange sound in the yard. A new person at the park. Does your dog trot toward it with curiosity or freeze and pull back? That split second isn't personality. It's a readout of their entire accumulated emotional history. Researchers call this judgment bias. Here's how they test it. The logic is elegant and it's worth understanding. They teach a dog that one bowl location always has food. Another is always empty. Then they place a bowl somewhere ambiguous in between. Dogs in a positive emotional state move toward that middle bowl quickly. They're expecting something good. Dogs in a negative state hesitate, avoid, assume the worst. Same bowl, same location, completely different internal prediction about how the world works. Here's what makes this hit harder than anything else on this list. It's not fixed. It shifts with lived experience. A dog who consistently trots toward new things isn't just friendly by nature. Their history has built a genuine internal expectation that the world tends to go okay. It tells you what kind of world your dog believes they live in. You can see your dog's entire worldview in a single step toward something new. But knowing your dog's worldview isn't the whole picture. Even a dog with an optimistic baseline gets rattled. What matters is what happens in the 10 seconds after. Every dog startles. That's not the test. The test is the recovery. I used to only clock the flinch. Then I started watching what came after, and the difference became impossible to ignore. Some dogs shake it off in 10 seconds and go straight back to sleep. Others stay hypervigilant for 20-30 minutes. Same sound, completely different nervous systems. Think of it like a phone battery that stopped charging to 100%. Every stressor drains it. If your dog's system is already at 40%, a door slam lands completely differently than it would on a full charge. That accumulated drain is what researchers call allostatic load, the compounding weight of chronic stress. When it's low, the system bounces back fast. When it's high, recovery costs more every time. Pon and colleagues in 2023 developed the Lincoln K9 Adaptability and Resilience Scale, validated across more than 1,000 dogs. Fast recovery links directly to better regulation and lower vulnerability to chronic fear. Coolitz and Hine in 2024 made something clear that changes how you read this. Resilience isn't a fixed trait. It's built through experience shaped by the life your dog is actually living. Your dog bouncing back in 15 seconds isn't luck. It's a nervous system that has learned it can return to safety. That might be the clearest signal on this entire list. But the last one is the most misread because in the moment, it feels like the opposite of love. Your dog gets up from the couch, walks quietly to another room, lies down in a corner, doesn't look back. If you're like most owners, myself included, there's a small sting. You want to follow them. Don't. That might be the best compliment your dog has ever paid you. For voluntary retreat to happen, 3 things have to be true at once. Your dog feels secure enough to stop monitoring the room. They trust you'll still be there when they return, and they have the actual freedom to choose. A 2023 paper in Proceedings of the Royal Society identified choice and control as a fundamental component of positive welfare. Not a nice to have, a fundamental component. A dog with separation anxiety panics when left alone. A thriving dog chooses solitude, settles in, and can be approached without startling. Don't read it as distance. Read it as the highest form of trust a dog can show you without using words. And that's what ties all 7 of these together. A dog who's truly thriving doesn't just have good moments. They have a nervous system that can rest, a mind that can explore, an emotional life that stays open. When the world startles them, they find their way back to calm, not because nothing bothers them, but because enough in their life has told them it's safe to come back down. 7 behaviors. None of them dramatic. All of them visible if you know what you're looking at. Deep sleep that says this place is safe. A breathy exhale in play that says this feels genuinely good. Days full of enough variety to stay curious. A step toward the new that says I expect things to go okay. A fast recovery that says my nervous system trusts the world. A quiet retreat that says I trust you enough not to need to watch you. You built that life. Maybe now you can actually hear them saying so. If this changed how you see your dog, share it with someone whose dog deserves to be understood. And if you want to go deeper, the next video is about the specific things your dog does every day that are actually compliments aimed directly at you. That one connects directly to everything you just learned here.